Hey everyone, welcome back to the podcast. Really quickly, is anyone in the market for one of these? Um, I'm not able to listen to it anymore due to recent events, so I'm taking the highest bidder. It'll be on my eBay. So that's the way that the cookie crumbles, I guess. I'm kidding. Obviously, I'm not selling this. I don't have an eBay, you know? It's on Facebook Marketplace. No. But yeah, that's a little reference to something that I've been seeing circulating around the internet. Again, Gen Z is trying to cancel Eminem. Gen Z, Gen Z is trying to what now? Cancel Eminem? And Tyler the Creator. They're also Tyler the Creator's under some heat right now. Um, over what? Old tweets. You guessed it. That you got it right. That was correct. You guessed it right. Among other things, obviously. Not obviously. I don't know if everybody's aware. Um, and yeah, this happens. This happens every couple of years, with Tyler the Creator specifically. It happened. It happened very recently. I think with like Taylor Swift fans, something involving them. I think it's happening now because Tyler is in like a really big movie that just came out with, or is it out yet? I don't know. That's coming out at least with Timothy Chalamet, which I do want to see that movie. I like the Safdie brothers. I like their movie Good Time, and they split off, and they both are making movies this year. I think one of them just came out like a month ago or a couple weeks ago. And I don't know if the Timothy Chalamet one's out yet, but I think that's pretty cool. I want to watch both of them. Not in theaters though, because I don't like leaving the house. Anyways, so yeah, I think that's why it's happening again, because there's like this whole new group of people that are like, discovering him, and then they go and they're like, let's dig into this guy's closet. Let's see what skeletons that he has. A bunch of Timothy Chalamet fans, I guess, or Gwyneth Paltrow fans, because she's in that movie also. I don't know what they are. And so yeah, so you have people. I've just been seeing like a lot of posts and videos about it, just showing a bunch of old tweets and old lyrics. And as someone who's been a fan of Tyler the Creator for like a couple years now, maybe like 6 years, maybe. Yeah, about 6 years. It's I'm aware of a lot of the really bad stuff that he said. And being a fan of someone who has has done some really odd things in the past is not new to me. I was talking about last episode how I was a fan of Joji, and Joji famously has like a very colorful past involving kind of off kilter jokes, and things that he says. And so it's nothing new to me. I'm not gonna sit here and I'm not mentioning this as like a way of like defending him or even condemning him. I probably will. I guess I will disavow at least. I think that it's like kind of an interesting conversation to explore surrounding like this I don't know, this whole cycle of because this happens all the time with. I mean, it was really big like a couple years ago, maybe in like 2020. Like it's like every other week this was happening to someone. It is kind of scary seeing how many people have just fucking really bad tweets. Just how normal it was. Just I guess the water was different back then. I guess back then you went on Twitter and you were like, I'm going to say the worst thing that I could think of in my brain. And we've seen it happen to a couple different people. And you've got the one camp that's like, they're like, I hate cancel culture across the board. Cancel culture sucks. The type of people that are like, Gen Z's trying to cancel Eminem. I'm sorry, what? You can't cancel Eminem. These Zoomers are trying to cancel Eminem. So you got that camp. And I think a lot of the time they misattribute holding someone accountable to being like, to canceling them. I guess, because it's like, because I don't think like canceling someone is a objectively like bad thing. Because I feel like they would call like like what was happening to P Diddy. I feel like they would call that canceling him. But it's like if someone is in Diddy's case a really famous person, and they are using their fame and their money and their platform to do horrible things, I don't think they're the type of person that deserves to be canceled. Like because they need to have their platform taken away from them. That's why like people that like I don't know that like the prey on like their fans or like use their fans for like sexual like gratification in some sense. And like I guess I guess it's okay if like someone I guess if you're really famous, it might be hard to find someone that isn't a fan of you. You're seeing that happen, I think, with David right now. The things that are happening with David. I feel like some people are like, cancel culture strikes again. It's like this guy is evil. I don't think this guy can should go on. You know, especially when he's talking with like fans in Discord servers about his illegal activity. I think in cases like that, especially with David and especially with Tyler the Creator now, you have the onslaught of fans just jumping at their defense, excusing all their bad things. I mean, you have people coming up with these crazy fucking theories as to why David is innocent, even though, judging by all the evidence, he most likely, if not killed that girl, was definitely grooming her, at the very least. Even if he didn't even if he wasn't the one that chopped her up and put her in the back of his car. So you have that. I still think that the evidence is stacked against him. I also saw that since like the allegations came out about all the stuff with the girl, he got like a huge boost on Spotify. Like tens of millions of people, I think, are added to his Spotify like monthly listeners, which is crazy. And that's like a whole other thing of like the whole outcry over cancel culture means nothing, because I feel like if anything it helps a person's career, which is insane. Because I imagine you go like, you read the headline, you're like, oh, but dead dismembered body found in the back of David's car. And then you switch the tab to Spotify, you're like, oh shit, okay. Maybe dismembering someone isn't such a bad thing. What is the thought process there? I will even admit, ever since hearing that story, that his romantic homicide song has been stuck in my head. I can't help it. It's a catchy song. I haven't listened to it at all. I haven't gone to Spotify. I haven't given him a single stream. But I'm just saying, it's been stuck in my head a little bit. I do catch myself going, in the back of my mind, you die. And it sucks, because now I know who he was talking about. And you know how that song was kind of based on a true story in a sense. Sometimes you can't help it. It's an earworm, that track. And there are some artists where I guess it's the conversation usually with people with creatives, when it comes out that they're like doing bad things, or that they start doing bad things again, the conversation becomes like separating art from the artist, which is something that I do. Like, I do that very like proficiently with most of the people that I'm a fan of their work. There are some cases where I can't do that. I would say Kanye West is an example of that. He genuinely, like, he just became pure evil, to where the point where if I'm listening to his music, it becomes like, I feel like I'm like contributing to this evil person. And I can't do that. Especially because I think the thing about what makes Kanye's stuff like especially like hard for me to listen to is that you go, separate art from the artist, but a lot of what Kanye makes is so centered on his personality and has like himself just injected into a lot of it. He's like candid on a lot of his songs. Like there are just times where he's like, I don't know, like freestyling on the spot, or doing like monologues or something. And a lot of it's like about his life and about his controversies even. And so like when he was like a couple years ago, when it used to be endearing that he was like this flawed person and that he would talk about it openly on his stuff. But when you become a Nazi, it's not cute anymore. It's not cute and endearing. You gotta just cut that off. The moment he was hitting the Hail Hitlers on his songs, you can't. Not that I was listening to that album anyways. I haven't listened to the last. I mean, I don't know how many he put out. He put out Vultures, I think 2 Vultures, and then he put out one of them was called like I Am Adolf Hitler or some shit like that. Definitely not into that. I don't want to like, because if I go and I listen to like past albums like Life of Pablo or Donda or something, I'm gonna listen to those and I'm gonna get like in my like recommended songs for you. The Nazi song by Kanye West, because you listen to other Kanye West songs. I don't want to do that. So I can't listen to Kanye West. I got rid of a lot of his stuff. I got rid of all of his stuff from my playlist or anything. At some point it goes like, graduation. I'm okay not listening to those songs ever again. So yeah, that's an instance where I can't separate art from the artist, because the artist is so. A lot of the art is about the artist. I guess that's most artists. They try to inject their stuff, but like Kanye especially, because he's so impulsive in his music and personal in his music. But yeah, back to Tyler the Creator. I was saying I'm pretty good at separating art from the artist. Because I would say like most people whose music that I'm a fan of, like I can't watch interviews with them or anything, because like I can't stand them, like their personality, or like I think they're like kind of pretentious, or I think they're kind of like an asshole. So I have no problem. Like there are people whose music that I love, but I don't like listening to them talk, So like I don't think that's like really. I don't mind that. I think that's kind of. I guess the problem it goes around to, I guess, parasocial relationships with artists. I think that's why you see so many people jumping to their favorite artist's defense, even if what they did is like objectionally. Fucking last episode, I could not think of this word. Objectively, not objectionally. Objectively. That's what I'm thinking. I don't know why I'm thinking of objection and not objective. Even if what they're doing is objectively objectionable. There you go. That's a good one. Thanks, guys. I expect you stood up and started clapping. They'll defend it because they have they feel like their like self-worth is like tethered to this person that they like. And I think it's kind of an epidemic where we've kind of, the parasocialism has become this strange, and people will say it 100 times, like parasocial relationships are bad, they shouldn't exist, yet it feels like so many people do it. I feel like everybody has at least one person who they're parasocial about that they don't know, like in person, like they just listen to their stuff, or they like their what they make. I feel like everybody has that, and it becomes this thing because like obviously you want to like be friends with this person. You feel like you're friends with this person through the screen, and so it becomes, if this person can't have done bad things, this can't be a bad person because they're supposed to be my friend. They're supposed to be my friend, so I have to defend them around every corner. And I think that is the real danger, and that's what we're seeing. Instead of going like, because I feel like if you're not parasocial, you can be like, yeah, what this person said, what they tweeted was bad. My fucking light just turned off. What the hell? You could say like, yeah, what this person said was bad on their Twitter, but you know, you listen to their music, they're not saying any like strange or like offensive or like mean or like hateful things. And I like the sound of the music. I like the art, the craftsmanship behind it. So like, I'm gonna keep listening to the thing. I don't necessarily have to support everything that they're saying, but I like the work. I guess that becomes like a conversation of like, is supporting them like financially, like, is that bad? And I think in the case of Tyler the Creator, those are, you know, like those, a lot of those things, they're like their old tweets or their old songs. Yeah, they're old. I don't think like a lot of like this stuff, like he's not saying these things now. I don't feel like, from what I can gather, I don't feel like he's putting out like a hateful message out there to to oppress a certain person, or like making offensive statements about pregnant women like he used to. So I don't feel like he's doing that now. So I feel like, you know, like giving him like streaming his music, I don't feel like I'm actively like contributing to like, you know, a net negative on the world. So like I'm okay doing that. Although what I mentioned earlier about the bad stuff being in the art, Tyler the Creator does have songs, a lot of songs where he was saying very strange, very crazy things. And I guess I'm a kind of a new age Tyler fan. I don't think I've listened to, I never listened to, I never went that far and listened to like Bastard or Goblin. I don't think I've ever listened to those albums. I know like the popular songs. And from what I've heard, I don't think I would like, I don't like the sound of those songs. So I don't think that would be like my type of music. So I guess that becomes a different conversation if you're still bumping the the really bad, like the old songs. I guess if you just like, you like it sonically and you're like, you know what he's saying, I can just kind of, it's in one ear out the other. Maybe you listen to the clean version. Every 2 seconds it's like something, and I and she had a, maybe that's what it is if you're listening to the censored versions of those old songs. So I don't listen to that. And there is, like, people were bringing up, he has this one song called Fucking Young / Perfect. And if you can't tell by the title, people are calling it a groomer anthem. And yeah, I remember listening to that song in high school and being like, this song sounds fucking amazing. I can't let anyone know that I'm listening to this, because I just knew that the lyrics were like very strange, very weird, but I love the way it sounded, and it's a very catchy song. It's a great song sonically. Like the chorus is great. It has like two halves. It does like kind of like a beat switch. That second half is amazing. I guess you can listen to that part. Well, he does repeat the title in that part also. It's a strange thing, so I just have to pretend like maybe to this guy Fucking Young is like 2 years, maybe it's like a year, like 6 months or something. Maybe he just has a real big problem with people that are 6 months younger than him. And so it's a weird thing. You kind of have to split your brain and just ignore certain things, or you can tell yourself like, I think another important thing to point out, I feel like, is that a lot of Tyler the Creator's stuff is like concept albums, so they're meant to be characters. I guess that's the main defense of like the fans of like Goblin or Bastard, that they would say is like he's playing this character that is like, I don't know, like his worst fucking thoughts, or like I don't know the lore, but you can do something like that. You can wave that around. So I guess you can kind of like do a level of separation where like this is fantasy, like this is for the means of storytelling. Yeah, but then I'm not here to defend what he was what he was saying. Hey guys, so I'm just kind of cutting in here because apparently there's an element to this story that I had no fucking idea about. Um, as I was editing this, I went on the Tyler the Creator subreddit just to see if what they were saying, how they were reacting. In shambles right now, by the way. No, but there's a bit of context that I didn't know about that I guess contributes to kind of what's going on surrounding the Mr. the Creator. And recently there was a music artist named D'Angelo that just passed away, and a lot of people were they were like giving their like wishing him rest in peace and all that. And Tyler was one of the people to do that. He told a story about, like, I think one of the first albums he went to buy was a D'Angelo album. So yeah, he made this post, and a lot of the comments were people being like, "Hey, when's the next album coming out?" And they were like naming, like, I think someone said that they were like just naming like other black artists because they didn't know who D'Angelo was. Um, and then Tyler liked the post that said on Twitter that like a lot of Tyler the Creator's like white fans have no appreciation for black art, like black music. And like in more recent years, I feel like or people have felt like Tyler the Creator has been like embracing black art, black music, black creative stuff like that, kind of to the dismay of a lot of his white fans, or his fans that don't like black stuff made by black people. Mostly the white fans, which it makes sense. I guess he's trying to just like kind of fix the because Tyler the Creator, like, fans kind of have a reputation for looking exactly like me, being a white boy with they're basically just me, just fucking copy pasted me, and that's not cool when your fan base is made up of just me's. So he kind of wants to change that by making things that are more that appeal to more people, more people of color, I guess. I don't know. And so yeah, and then a lot of the white fans were getting like, I guess they kind of felt offended. I think he also made a tweet that was like, "I'm sick of all these sun dodgers in my audience," and sun dodgers is apparently a term used to describe white people, which I don't have a problem with that. I talked about in the last episode. I'm not the type of person to be like, "Hey, leave the white people alone," okay? They've had it. They've we have it too hard, guys. Stop! Don't use mean terms about us. I don't care about that. I mean, honestly, it's kind of true. With me, I dodge the sun. Look how pale I am. I do intentionally dodge the sun. So he is correct in saying that. Although I wasn't one of the people in this comment section. Like, I don't, I wasn't. I was sad when D'Angelo passed. Yeah, so there was that. So apparently that's kind of like a thing. I don't know if they're the ones that like dug up the old tweets and like got it popular again, or if I genuinely thought it was because of the Timothée Chalamet movie that these were becoming a thing yet. Because I would figure that all the white people, because he kind of, Tyler the Creator kind of has like a reputation for like not being the best when it comes to like, he's usually like, oh, racism. He's like, oh, whatever. Like, white people, you can say the N word. That was kind of like his kind of like a thing that he did back then. So I feel like a lot of the white people, or at least some of the white people in his audience, they don't care much about being offensive or saying offensive things. So I don't know if they would be the ones that were like putting out this stuff and being like, oh, I can't listen to him anymore. Look at what he said. Meanwhile, they're hitting the hard R's at his concerts or whatever. But yeah, that's a bit of context. It doesn't really change much about what I say. But yeah, I just thought I would mention that because if in case somebody wants to put in the comments, you're welcome. I saved you. You don't have to now. This is your resident Sun Dodger. Back to myself. Thank you. And you have, I guess I've been hearing a bunch of defenses, kind of the ones that like kind of contradict each other. You got some people being like, these new gen fans, they don't know what this old stuff is. I've been here since the beginning. We've known about this. And look at all these new Gen Z, these TikTok fans they're finding out and they're scaring them, and bringing up how like when these albums came out, these people they couldn't even talk yet. They weren't even, they were still doing, first grade math, which is like, okay. I did see a lot of comments like that, which is a very odd thing to bring up. It's like, yeah, we weren't able to do it back then, but they can now. They can understand like concepts now. Why does it matter the time? I don't know. You're only able to criticize something if it happened when you were fully sentient. That's odd. So you have that, but then you also have people going like, it was a different time back then. Everybody was saying that stuff. So like, I guess I don't know if are they the same side or just like two different sides of people defending him. They're saying both that like they're owning the stuff that he's saying, but they're also like being like defending it and like, I know we weren't supposed to say that stuff, but that was just the culture. Which I guess from all that I've gathered, I wasn't on the internet in fucking 2009. I was fucking 4 years old. I was the youngest person ever in 2009. So I guess I didn't know what was going on then. I didn't know what the culture was like, I guess. But from what I've gathered, it seems like that just was the culture, though. That everybody was just saying the craziest shit. But I don't know. I feel like there's always been kind of like a societal like expectation of certain things that you can't say. Like I keep thinking about, he has like some line about like something with a pregnant woman and making it like a threesome. Something weird like that. I feel like in any time that would be kind of a very odd thing to say. So I don't know how much the time, like the old time stuff that happened in the past, like I don't know how much that helps. Anyways, I do have this again. This is highest bidder. I'm going to do an auction stream where I go 25, we got 25, 25, 30, we got 30, can I get 35? Can I 40 up here, 35? I was going to hang this on my wall. I guess I can't anymore. Just kidding. I feel like this, I'm more of an Igor fan than I am a Tyler the Creator fan, because this album, this was like the defining album for when I was a freshman in high school. I would listen to it in full like every day on the bus, both to and from school. It was like the bus ride was like the exact time length of the album, so I was able to listen to it front to back. I did that like multiple times a week. Great album. I feel like I had more things to say about this. See, I don't think you are. I think you can still listen to his stuff. And I do think it's a problem of like, because like you don't have to. You can think that he's good without having to defend like everything bad that he's done. Like I don't like, you don't have to. I guess there's like this expectation of like that every person that makes like something has to be like this perfect, well-rounded person with like perfect morals. When a lot of the time, like, if you think about it, like a lot of fucked up people make some really great art. I don't know if it's like it might be like a rectangle and square situation where it's like not all problematic people make great art, but all great art comes from problematic people. I think being an imperfect person kind of helps the artistic process. Like in order to make something that is kind of outside of the box and like new, you kind of have to have like a different tracked mind. And I feel like Tyler has that, because he was making stuff. A lot of this stuff was like a new sound to a lot of people, and he definitely has a different mind. That's the case. That's what am I thinking of? That's the truth. That's for sure. That's what I was trying to say. That being said, I do think we should expect, like I do think it's reasonable to expect just people to be like decent human beings. I'm not gonna give people an excuse like, oh, you expect everyone to be perfect and you're mad that this person isn't. I feel like everyone, artists and just normal people, those are the two camps. All included. I do have like a certain expectation of them to like, be a little, have a little, be aware of things and be like just like a decent human being. But this, I mean, the parasocial thing, because I've actually noticed this a lot. This is actually something that I've wanted to kind of explore. But it's like a lot of people want the people that they're a fan of to be perfect, even when they're not, because it helps like this certain like fan like culture, I guess. Like they want to make their art, and they want to have their fan pages and make their fan cams and their edits. You don't want to do that if the person you're making it about is like a groomer or like a murderer, because then it's kind of weird. So you have to excuse all the bad stuff that they're doing and just pretend that they're like this paragon of morality, just so you can keep making your edits or your imagines, or photoshopping yourself, putting their picture on your wall. And you even see that with like fictional characters. Like, I think one that comes to mind, like Scarlet Witch. People being like, Scarlet Witch did nothing wrong, which that's another topic that we can get into on another day. I'm not even saying which camp that I'm in. I'm not even saying maybe she did do anything. Maybe she didn't do anything wrong. I'm just mentioning like there is a sizable amount of people that will like believe that, because they want to keep making their cute edits and keep idolizing this character. And fictional characters I'm more forgiving of, if you want to like excuse their actions, because it's not real. But when it comes to real people, they want to just keep doing their fan thing. That being said, I am perfect. So if you want to make like a body pillow with me on it, you can go right ahead. If you want to, you can make cool edits of me. That's just my long-winded way of saying that this album is for sale. No, sorry. Those are just my thoughts on recent events. I hope I didn't piss off any fandoms right now. Maybe I probably pissed off the Kanye West fans, aka the Nazis. I may have pissed off all of Nazi Germany. I may have pissed off the KKK in that, and I'm terribly sorry, guys. Anyways, let's talk about let's somewhat related. Let's go people that aren't problematic, but had this insane, like, I keep doing this episode. I don't know. I guess because I'm talking about like groups of people. That fucking scared me. My bottle just popped. But I watched the video. I watched an interview with Brie Larson recently. It appeared on my feed. There's this one channel, Brittany Broski, I think her name is. And she makes like she does like interviews with like a lot of people. She did, I think, Nicholas Hoult, David Cornsweet. She gets some pretty big names. It's shocking. It amazes me how all the big names that she gets. But she had Brie Larson on, and the atmosphere of the show is like very fun and like very like comedic. And Brie Larson was really able to shine. I haven't watched that many interviews with Brie Larson. Maybe I watched. Yeah, I don't think I have. Then in watching that, I watched that and I go, wow, Brie Larson, she's a really great. First of all, I have a Lego minifigure of Brie Larson. I think I have two, actually. I'm looking at my Legos. Yeah, I have two. Just two. I have two Legos of Brie Larson, which is crazy. So, that's some little fun fact. I think that's the first thing I think. The second thing I think is like, isn't it crazy how like, it's crazy how there was this huge campaign, and it still exists today, of just like hating on Brie Larson, and how much it was just shoved down our throats, like, Brie Larson sucks, fuck Brie Larson, she's the worst. And a lot of this was happening in like 2019, which again, I was a freshman in high school, so I was like 14, and so I would see a lot of it. And since I had become a fan of Brie Larson, I think because like a year or like 2 years ago, I had a huge crush on Brie Larson. 2 years ago in 2019, so like 2017. She was kind of like my celebrity crush. I saw her in like she was in the King Kong movie, and I was like, oh, wow, she is beautiful. Um, and then afterwards, I was like, I found out she was gonna be Captain Marvel, and I was a fan of the Marvel movie, so I was like, holy shit. So I was like, maybe if I wasn't like already like like if I hadn't already been like a fan of Brie Larson, I would have been like, maybe I would have been like indoctrinated into this because it was everywhere on YouTube. Because I was a young teenage boy. I'm on YouTube a lot. My mind my brain is like kind of mushy, and it could be molded to believe in anything, right? So I feel like there's definitely a reality where I watched all these videos and I was like, okay, I guess Brie Larson sucks. What the hell? I guess I just hate her now. I think what was stopping me was like, again, I had that huge crush on her when I was like 13 or 14. And two, I was a big fan of the Marvel movies. So a lot of the discussions were like shitting on her, but also shitting on the Marvel movies. And as an avid Marvel fan, I was like, I will not take that slander. I will not. I will stand firm. And so I thought it was quite weird. But there comes a point where it's like you see so many people talking about it. You go like, are they right? I think that's why so many people, like, now it's become like so mainstream to be like anti-woke, because it was everywhere. And fuck, what was I saying? Oh yeah, so for the longest time I was like, I guess maybe she is like this kind of like not cool person, and I'm just kind of like, maybe I'm the minority here, maybe I'm in the wrong even. But in seeing this now, I'm like, what the hell? And it made me like go back and like recontextualize everything. And like I was thinking about like the stuff that people were mad at her about. There was a clip of her doing like the Google, like the interviews where they do like the Google autofill or whatever. And the main clip was like her going like, is that a personal attack or something? Which if you just think about it now, it's just kind of like a witty, snarky remark. I don't know why it became such a big thing. And if you watch the interview that I watched with her and Brittany Broski, it's she's very much a very charismatic, very witty, funny person. So there was that clip. There was a clip of her, like, I think she was with like Don Cheadle and like kind of like bumping her elbows and like, oh, don't you love me, guys? And Don Cheadle was like, he kind of like moved his elbow away, which I also feel like was very clearly like a little like a bit. They were doing a little bit there, the classic bit where one person's really is trying to be nice and the other person's like, get the fuck away from me. That's the classic bit. SpongeBob and Squidward. There's probably other examples, but that's the only one I can think of. There was even like this, she gave like this speech at like this award thing, and where she was saying like, like 95% of movie reviewers are all old white men. So, and she was getting laughed at for that, because I mean she was kind of ahead of the curve. She was saying that in 2019. I don't think it's a very, it should not be a shameable position to be like, white men have a crazy advantage against with everybody else. And so yeah, it's just, I guess this is kind of a redux of the Biba Dewey thing, where I'm going like, the internet was wrong to judge Brie Larson. This is your famous white knight coming in and defending all the women because they can't defend themselves. Fuck. Where's my laugh button? I forgot. This is from a Tyler the Creator song, the soundbite. I don't really use it that much, so I guess that's good. Nobody will know, except I'm talking about it right now. Anyways, so yeah, guys, let's give Brie Larson did nothing wrong. That's my take. That's the takeaway from this. Unless she's she is doing like some weird stuff behind the scenes. I don't know. She plays Animal Crossing. I'm a fan of that. I also like her the song that she sings from Scott Pilgrim versus the World. I like that song. I listen to that one all the time. Anyways, guys, that's I've been watching this guy on YouTube. His name is Ben Palmer. Ben Palmer. He's pretty popular. He's a comedian, and his main thing that he does is that he's a little bit of a troll. He trolls around, and he messes with like a lot of pyramid schemes, like a lot of companies that do pyramid schemes, there's a lot of them apparently, and it's like kind of like shady like corporations. There's a really famous one where he messed with like a politician for a long time. Like he ran like his podcast, his website. It kind of got. He has a whole video about it. You should really check him out. I mean, he's much more popular than me, so I don't know why I'm plugging him. Fuck him. One video that I love is that he joins this company's like. They have like, I don't know, they've met their quota or some shit, so they have this like Zoom margarita party or whatever, where they all get on Zoom and they have they just like make cocktails or whatever and they drink them. And so it's like a 10-minute video where he joins. He barely says anything. I think he says something like right at the end. Like nobody notices that he's there. They don't question him until the very end. And it's just like 10 minutes of these like 10 people, and they're all having these super awkward corporate conversations. They're just like just the worst. It's like, I don't know, it just speaks for itself. You're just like sitting there in this horrible corporate meeting where they're all like supposed to be having fun, and they're all pretending to be friends, but they're all like completely detached from reality. And so yeah, it's so great. And it was scary seeing how many like pyramid schemes. I didn't know pyramid schemes were like all the rage. I didn't know there were so many of them, and they're backed by like a lot of big companies, like actually like legitimate companies. Like they'll like support them, they'll like work with them and just not care. It reminded me that I don't really know how pyramid schemes work. I understand like it's named after the whole pyramid thing where you got one person, they recruit more people, and you get those people that they recruit to recruit even more people. So you're just recruiting a bunch of people, but like, what do you do then? You've been recruiting people. Do they sell something? How do you get money from that? Are they like selling knives? I never really understood like what was the product of the. I guess maybe they have like a basic product like a blender or something, and then that's how they Trojan horse it. They're like, we're selling this blender, and to help us sell this blender, you have to recruit people to sell the blenders and tell them to recruit more people. Maybe that's how it works. Let me know, guys. Leave very detailed descriptions of how a pyramid scheme works in my comment section. Let's see if we can get myself arrested. Don't do that. Let's not do that. And so yeah, he'll do like interviews with like these like pyramid schemes, or they'll crash interviews and they'll like inform like the other people being interviewed that it's a pyramid scheme. And the people, it shocked me like how many people there are that like they have like they talk in like this, I don't know, like the corporate like friendly like HR, I don't know how to, like a hiring manager, like, and so yeah, we need people that are like driven to sell and to do this, and they're good at like talking their way to like schmoozing people into signing up for a pyramid scheme. And what shocked me about it is like that's kind of like a skill. That's a skill that I don't think everybody has. Like I don't have that. I'm not able to be like, what we need is we need people that are driven, and we need them that be dedicated. Like, and if somebody asked me like a question that would like caught me off guard, I would be done. I have this thing where I just shut down if I'm not perfectly prepared for everything that I have to say, or like I'm also not good at what's the word? Persuading people. I'm not a very persuasive person, unless I have a weapon in my hand. So yeah, that's a skill that maybe you're born with, or maybe you learn it or something, but not everybody has it. And so it shocks me how many people who have this skill of like being like like this perfect like salesman, how many of them are using that for evil. Basically, they're using it to recruit people to pyramid schemes, and I it's kind of scary. Maybe that's the job that it's best suited for. Maybe if you're actually running a moral business, you don't have to be like all like. I mean, I don't know. Like you can. We're looking for people that want to make some money. I don't even know what I can't even pretend to sound like them because I don't know what they say. And yeah, so that's very interesting. It's very scary, actually. And even on a broader scale, how many people like dedicate their life to doing some fucked up things? The world is so effed up, dude. How many people I've been watching a lot of like shoplifters getting arrested, YouTube videos, and there's like some people that are a part of like these huge rings, like across the nation of just shoplifting from businesses, and like so you like dedicated like a lot of your time to figuring out the best way to do something, like illegally or something immoral. It's crazy. It's crazy. Just start a podcast. Just start a podcast, guys. Anyways, that's probably the end of this episode. I was gonna go through the old drawings, but I was not. I forgot. I was not prepared. I was gonna have a second camera out and a tripod, but I don't feel like doing that right now. And plus, I already talked for a pretty long while about the other stuff. Let's see. What else have I been doing? I mean, I've been doing. You know what's crazy, dude? October's almost over. Next episode's gonna be the Halloween one. Ooh, Halloween. October has actually been like a really. First of all, I want to say thank you guys. October has been a really great month for like growth. I've been seeing a lot of growth, not just in my penis, but in other places. Hold on, let me turn my fan back on. I'm kind of getting hot. I'm living in the future, but yeah, I just like on all angles. Like I've been doing like really good on TikTok. I had a crazy viral video. It beat my other past viral video on TikTok. Not on Instagram. On Instagram, I have like I think like 10 million or 8 million views on one video. I'm kind of a big deal. No, but yeah, the most I got on a video on TikTok was like 2.2 million, and the latest, not the latest one, but the newest viral video was like 2.5 million. And that one, I was kind of like, because the last one that I had that went super viral, I wasn't in it. It was me filming. It was like some weird like schizophrenic like snuff film looking like Minecraft video. Go to my Instagram. You can probably find it if you scroll down a little bit. My face wasn't in it, so I was like, interesting. The only video to go viral is the one that my face isn't in. That's cool. But this one did have my face in it, so we're doing great. And a lot of people came from TikTok. They did, that's what the social medias are for. They're meant to funnel people here onto this channel. And so there's not a lot of new listeners. Hello. Not a lot of new viewers. I did that, and then on Instagram, I had a second video go like also popular, not as popular, but it was pretty good. It was the joke was Superman in Flint, Michigan in 2014. That one sparked a little bit more controversy than I had thought. Because I guess I may have taken some liberties with Superman's powers. This is my official statement. I'm going to explain this video. So the video, I'll play it right now. Yeah, looks good. You can drink it. Yeah, so the video there, the caption was like, only real Superman fans will get this. And a lot of real Superman fans had a problem with the logic in that video. Because the joke is that Flint, Michigan has water in the lead. I put 2014. I didn't know that it was still going on until just like a couple months ago. That was strike number one. I'm sorry. I don't live in Flint, Michigan. I haven't been looking at the Flint, Michigan Post or whatever. Second problem is, I know that Superman can't see through lead. Okay? And a lot of people go like, oh well, if he looked at the water, he wouldn't see the lead He would see the lead. He just wouldn't be able to see through it, so he would know that it was lead in there. Good point. That's a good, true point. I guess my logic in making that is that he would look at the water, he would see like speckles of something in it, and if he had laser vision, if it was like rat poison, he would scan it. And he would see like, oh, it has fucking whatever's in rat poison that kills you, or there's cyanide here. But since it's lead, he would just see just like kind of like beads of something that he can't see through. So he would look at it and he wouldn't necessarily see anything wrong with it. I mean, he wouldn't be able to like tell it was lead necessarily. And Superman being a good guy, he would just be like, yeah, you drink this water. He wouldn't want to break, like he wouldn't want to, I don't know, he wouldn't want to go, oh, there's just maybe there's just specks of dirt. Dirt's healthy. Dirt's healthy. So I feel like my joke still makes sense. But yeah, there was a lot of people debating the logic of my video. I was just expecting just kind of like a chuckle and maybe a like and a swipe, but no, I like it. I like it when the comment section kind of becomes, it happened with the other video about the cannibal. That sounds odd out of context. But like the comment section kind of like become their own like community of like discussions and like different inside jokes and like running jokes. So I like that. And then the last video I uploaded, the Lion Patriot, which is like a parody of like right-wing grifters, that one went crazy viral. I think it's at like 800 views now. I think that's the fastest it's gone from like to get that many views. Like usually it took longer. It's on track to being one of my most viewed video, which if fucking Lion Patriot is my most viewed video, I'll kill myself. No, that's not true. That's a joke. That was a joke. Hear the people laughing? I was joking. And yeah, people are responding to that too. I don't know. I always get kind of scared. I've made 2 of those so far. I get kind of scared because I'm like, what if people don't realize that this is a joke? What if people don't realize that this is like a satire? Which I don't know why I would. If you watch that, I'm very obviously not being serious. But I'm like a white person. I'm a white man. It's not out of the blue to assume that that I would be saying those things unironically. But yeah, I like people are understanding the satire of it and the parody of it, and I like that. I feel like those are good videos. I feel like I'm just a little too good at replicating that style. Those videos also, the 2 that I put, they've gotten a lot more dislikes than I usually get, which makes sense. I don't know. I guess it's just people. I hope it's just people that are mad that I'm making fun of them that are disliking it. Because I don't see why else you would dislike it unless you just didn't find it funny, which, what the fuck? I'm hilarious. Why would you be disliking that? But that makes sense if I'm actively making fun of someone. Or maybe they think I'm being serious and they're like, fuck you. The Sopranos, you think The Sopranos is woke? Fuck you, dislike. Maybe that's what they think. So yeah, just on all fronts, I'm doing really great. I really appreciate it. I'm trying to be sincere, guys. I really appreciate it. Now, with all the new eyes on me, we got a bidder?